Hey, Egg Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. I'm out in the garden walking around with the cats, just enjoying some afternoon. And it's time for us to go ahead and, enjoy the sunshine. It rained this morning. First good rain we've had in a while. And I think it's one of the first rains of fall, even though it's August. But anyway, I think it's time for us to pollinate a few other flowers. So I've got another one on the bench for us to work on today, and then I'm going to grab a few other random ones throughout the garden. I've got some that are kind of favorites that I want to get done. Um, I've got a Moray King of Hearts, which is a red and white with a star. And then I've got Petunia, which is a green outside of the petals and a hot pink in the center. Indian Summer, I don't know about that one. It's kind of a yellow with a dusty orange to it. So anyway, we're going to do another one and we'll get all set up for that. And as always, if we find any seed pods while we're doing this, we'll go ahead and harvest those and put them as our wild germination. So those are the ones that we're going to germinate, and then we'll test and only keep whatever glows, because we know then we'll have some sort of glowing colored mix. So we'll do that. So let's get set up for that. The mix for today is Dreams Rose Picotee. So that is what it looks like. But really, it looks like this. So it's got white around the outside. And depending on, there's the sprinkler system turning off. Depending on the flower, you might have more coloring around the outside of that. So let's get that one set up. All right, like before, we're going to go ahead and start modifying some of these flowers so that we're ready. We're ready to accept that pollen in here. So I'm going to just take the outer side of that blossom off so that I can get right in there to the pistil, right in there, and get that pollen where it belongs. And I did find my really tiny tweezers, or forceps if you will, so I can clean some of the things out of there. So we're going to start on this one right away, and I'm going to mark this one right off. Here's the tag for this one, Dreams Rose Picotee. So probably should do that before we forget. As always, Firefly crossed with Dreams. Dreams Rose Picotee. All right, so we know what one we're dealing with. We've got our flowers, and I did notice that there's only a couple of stamens on these that actually have active pollen on them. So this is going to be one of ours that we're going to use right here. So I'm going to tear this one open as usual, and we're going to take advantage of those little tiny tweezers that I have this time so that we can get there, and we'll just select one individual stamen to work with. Just making sure that's still in frame for you. Okay. Yep, I can see the pollen transfer on there. That's good. Well, you've got to be careful because some of it you can see it transferring off. There we go. We're going to do that for that one. And we'll find another one. Feeling wild and crazy today. We're going to just do a whole bunch on this one. We'll see how many we can get. Alright, there's 3. We got 4, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a bunch, which is, you know, I've got limited pollen, but you can see I'm just kind of going for it on this one. We'll get one of these to take. Alright, I think that should be enough. Just grabbing another stamen. Got 3 left on this one. See how that stamen dropped out? That's kind of one of the reasons I like to use the forceps, because they lock on there, and you don't have a chance to. You're not going to lose them. That would be Raffi, our plant breeding kitty. Okay. Okay, there's a bunch of those done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and head in here, and we're going to pollinate these other ones that we have left. There's 4 more that need to be done. So I'm going to check my blossoms for whichever ones seem to be open and full of pollen. Now I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, this particular plant did not set any seed. Oh, hey, look, a thrip. This particular plant did not set any seed, so kind of because of that, I'm glad that I'm going in the direction of the Firefly as my recipient of the pollen, because I know they will set seed. But this Rose Picotee has had ample opportunity this year through pollination to set seed, and it has not. So that's kind of one of the reasons that we're going to go in here and we're going to pollinate the Firefly with the pollen that I have found on here. And hopefully that will work. It'll work better. I'm getting that female structure out of the way. Oh, got both of them. Okay. So we'll just take advantage of the excess pollen. I think I got all those. We'll just go ahead and wipe a little bit more on there. All right. All right, there. That was a simple one. Just wrapped up with that Rose Picotee. So Dreams Rose Picotee now crossed with our Firefly Petunia. Now again, these are F1 crosses, so everything that we've been doing lately in the last few videos is actually crossing a Firefly Petunia with a standard variety of Petunia. There are some earlier videos where I cross back my F1 generation back into the Fireflies, and those are ones that we should see hopefully set some seed, and the idea with that is to pick up that lost Firefly gene back into the plant and make it brighter but still have color. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the pot, and really kind of concludes it. I might do a couple more pollinations. We'll see what we've got time for tonight. But that one's a pretty basic one, pretty quick. And what I'm going to do with these is the ones that we pollinate now, next year, because we're end of the year, we won't be able to plant any of these seeds. But next summer, I'll shoot a matching video with this where we're looking at the finished product. So you'll get to see the finished product, and then I'll shoot a video again when we cross back. So hopefully we can start getting some family lines going with the Firefly Petunias. I am hoping that we can get a little bit of stability in the plant with that. And I've got some other ones, you know, mainly we've been doing uprights. I do have some trailing petunias that we're going to cross with those too. So there are a few others, ones that are, you know, longer cascading ones. I've got lavender vein. I've got pink vein. I've got another one I can't remember the name of, but it's pretty. We'll cross it with that. It's a double petunia. We'll cross it with a double and see how that turns out. Definitely going to go pollen to this one on that one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're learning something. Moreover, I hope that you are subscribed, that you're following along, and that you're helping us build our channel here. There's a lot more to come. I know it's been a lot of pollinating lately, but that's the time of year. I am going to start working on the indoor germination grow setup, so I've got a spot indoor for that. And then, if time allows, tomorrow I'll start working on building the greenhouse, and I'll bring you along for that ride too. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Ag Teacher Thoughts out. Oh, I always got to start it off with a little bit of a giggle and a smile. So hopefully you were paying attention and you've stayed to the very, very end. This would be a praying mantis that we found roaming around town. We was lost in a parking lot, brought him home. This guy's kept his head, although I can tell his color's changing. He's getting a little bit slower. So don't know if he's had a chance to find a mate. If he is, he got lucky. If not, I have seen some females around here. So, you know, one of the things, let's go up this way. I don't know if many of you have caught it in the background, but that's my praying mantis, and that's my praying mantis. So many years ago, I was a garden artist, and I made steel sculpture like this. Really, that garden art and the welding class that I took is what really allowed me to be a machinist. So kind of a long story on that, but always kind of thought it was fun. I was fascinated with praying mantis when I was a kid. I remember getting an egg case and I put it in a fish tank to watch them hatch in my bedroom and didn't realize that the screen was too small to keep them in, and they escaped and were all over my bedroom, and my window was open and they got outside. And that's how we got them on the family farm, because they're actually not native to our area. They're all introduced. So this is an insect that people have brought in for a form of biological control. They're kind of neat. I don't know how much they're really impacting the environment here, but we do find them fairly regularly in the garden and in the grassy area behind the garden. But yeah, I always thought they were kind of cool. But anyway, that's my praying mantis. Got aluminum wings, steel body. It was a lot of work when I made it. Only seems fitting. Anyway, Ag Teacher Thoughts out.